Alright, let's do a demo of the Vid Globalizer tool, and this is very easy to use, as I mentioned in part 1. If you haven't watched part 1, please watch it because it explains everything. And what I'm going to do here is just go through a project very quickly. Okay, so from start to finish, what we're going to do is we're going to click on Start, create a new project. Okay, first thing you want to do is put your video URL. You can search by your channel if you choose as well. Okay, and enter a project name. I'm going to call this one YouTube SEO Tips number 1. Okay, so I know what it is. Now I'm going to select some languages in here, and so I want to choose French. Don't forget that you need to have 2 APIs for this. You need the internal API and you also need YouTube API. If you don't use YouTube API, it will not work. Okay, you need both of them. The internal API will be used for uploading the video, and it will be used for doing the translations, and it will be used for the thumbnail as well. Okay, you need the YouTube API key for the captions, and if it's missing any of those, it won't work. Okay, so you need to do both of those together. Okay, so let me just go and find my channels I want to work with. I'll choose French, German, Spanish and Portuguese. Let's see, Portuguese, and we'll take Spanish. Okay, so I've got 4 here. You can do all of them if you want to, it's entirely up to you. What I want to do is just give a demonstration. So we click on that, it's going to do the translation. Okay, here you can see it's in French. Okay, we've got title in French, we've got description in French, we've got captions in French, and here we can choose the thumbnail to create a thumbnail. Just click on thumbnail settings. I'm going to bring this down to size 36 because it's kind of big. Okay, I'll just make sure that's in the right size. Now of course need to make sure our channel is attaching here. It looks like we're going to have to recode that part because it should stay there as a default. Anyway, I'll get that fixed before we release the tool. I'll add it to the list of things that we need to do before we go public. Okay, here you can choose as well if you want to put intro folders. This is good if you want to make your videos slightly different. Okay, that's entirely up to you. You can make it different sizes, etc. The thing about this is what we're doing is very similar to what people do in WordPress, because they create folders with different translations of their articles, etc. We're just doing this with video content. It's just another format of content. But if you're worried about having duplicate content, then we've also added in here that you can use intros and you can use outro images. Okay, intro videos, outro images, so you can make it different. Okay, it's entirely up to you. So if you're worried about it, then you can do that. Next, I'll do the German one just very quickly. I'll do this one, then I'll pause and I'll finish the rest off. Set it as a default. Make sure it's in the how-to category for my video. Make it public. Okay. Captions looking good. Thumbnail. Come over to thumbnail. Make sure the size is fine in here. That's all good. This one I'm going to make the background a black color. Okay. And I'll make the text white. Something like that. Okay, so now we got all of that done, what we can do is just simply start uploading. Okay, so I'll click on that and it will pop over to the results and you can see the progress. 100% updating metadata. That one is done. That will be on YouTube now, but it will still be processing on YouTube. So next one, you can see how fast this is. If you want to do all of those channels, you can do that. And then the next one, you can see it's waiting some time before the next one. It's putting some time delay in there. Okay, looks like I've got some bugs to fix here. It's not changing the thumbnails, but I want to work on the thumbnail anyway so that it's automated, that we don't have to choose it. So we will have some updates before we actually release the tool. I'm recording this long before we release the tool. Okay, so all of that is done, so let's go and have a look at the first one. Just bring this.
Okay, so tip number 1,
over here.
YouTube title, rank, sculpting, tag.
And you can see it's in French. Okay, so we've got all of that stuff in French. Very quick, very easy. A couple of clicks of the buttons, guys. Seriously, how long did that take? A few minutes, just a few clicks of the button, and you can basically transcribe or repurpose your existing content and syndicate it. And it does get traffic, not huge amounts on every channel, but that can change depending on the topic as well. So that could be very, very beneficial for you to be able to do that. So that's how to use the Vid Globalizer. That's a live demo. Don't forget to watch part 1 where I go into more detail about some of the nuances and some of the strategy behind it. Okay, thanks.